Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to the rundown from Giants Camp today. It's March 7th, and it was very rainy in Phoenix, and pretty much nobody in the Cactus League was able to play. That includes the Giants. Their game at Surprise against the Kansas City Royals was canceled. We don't say postponed because they're not going to make it up. Thank goodness. The Giants actually got on the bus this morning. They were going to do their early work in Surprise, but they changed the plan and they decided to do all of their hitting and other work here in Scottsdale. And it's a good thing they did, because if they'd gotten on the bus in the morning to Surprise, they wouldn't have gotten any work done. So as it stands, it wasn't a totally wasted day. But the guys did get on the bus and they were ready to go. The bus was idling and they pretty much had to make a call at that point. And it was getting really heavy in Surprise, and the heavy weather eventually moved into Scottsdale. So looks like they made the right call, and the game didn't happen. One of the most interesting things that would have happened in the game was seeing Buster Posey work with Tim Lincecum. They would have been the all Golden Spikes battery today, but I'm sure we'll get a chance to see them work together later on this spring. What they did is they went ahead and had Lincecum throw in an indoor cage, sort of a simulated innings thing, and they did the same thing with Madison Bumgarner, who was going to follow him. So both of them, they figured, got about the equivalent of 4 innings of work in. Different coaches stood in as the sort of the simulated hitters. Bruce Bochy was one of those simulated hitters, and I guess he bailed out pretty good on one of Lincecum's curveballs, and Hector Sanchez was the rookie catching back there at the time, and he had a pretty good laugh about it. Maybe too good a laugh. So anyway, apparently Lincecum got his work in, and so did Bumgarner, so they won't have to alter the pitching schedule. It'll be Barry Zito tomorrow against the Dodgers, and they'll just carry on from there. For a team that didn't play, the Giants actually had a couple of casualties on the field. One was Brett Pill, the young first baseman. He got smoked in between the eyes by a baseball. What happened is they were doing a drill where he was scooping balls at first, and Will Clark was overseeing this and told him, now get your head down and keep your head down and really get through it. Really sweep through with your motion. And the very next one hit to him, took a bad hop and smoked him right in between the eyes. So he's fine. It was bleeding a little bit. No stitches necessary. He'll be cleared for whatever tomorrow. Nate Schierholtz also will have a pretty good bruise. What the Giants did with Schierholtz and Eli Whiteside and Mark DeRosa is they were the hitters in a simulated game situation on a backfield, which they were able to get in before the rain really arrived. The pitchers were Craig Clark and Clayton Tanner, 2 lefties who were in the single-A San Jose rotation last year, who were good prospects. And it was DeRosa's first time hitting off live pitching all spring. I'll get to him in a second. But Schierholtz somehow managed to foul a ball right off the kneecap of his back leg, his left leg. So kind of a freaky thing. And he went down like a ton of bricks. He had his weight on that leg, and it locked up, and he toppled backward and actually smoked his head on the piping that makes up the structure of the batting cage. So his head was fine. His knee, he iced it, and he thinks he's going to be okay to go tomorrow. But it looks like it could be a pretty nasty bruise. If he's got a bone bruise, then maybe he might be out a few days. We'll have to wait and see, but doesn't look serious. The most significant injury update we have today is on Emmanuel Burris. We were told yesterday that he does have another break in the 5th metatarsal bone in his left foot. Imagine your pinky toe and just sort of extend that up into those bones on the foot, and that's where he broke it last year. And he had a screw inserted in it last year to stabilize the area. The area where the screw is in the bone is not broken, but the CT scan did pick up a small fracture in the surrounding area. So right now they're not planning to have another surgical procedure to take out the screw, put in another one, a bigger one, whatever. They're going to try to treat this with something called a bone stimulator that's going to get blood flow in the area, and they're also going to give him injections of sort of a osteoporosis type bone strengthening drug that's supposed to speed healing and increase your bone density. So they're hoping if those things work, then he'll be fine in about 4 weeks. Obviously, he still wouldn't be a candidate to make the opening day roster, but maybe it's something where he can come back and still play somewhere most of this season, and he isn't missing another 3 or 4 months rehabbing from surgery. So they're all hoping that's going to work out, but obviously if it doesn't, if he's not getting the results, then surgery would be another possibility. We mentioned Mark DeRosa took part in that simulated game. It was his first time taking swings off live pitching and he did connect on a few singles. Probably the most encouraging thing was his swing and miss, really, and also a check swing, because if you remember, he hurt his wrist last year when he was checking his swing against a Randy Johnson pitch when the Giants were in St. Louis. So he did have a couple of swings and misses and one good check swing, and didn't feel really anything too terrible in his surgically repaired wrist. He did call Craig Clark, say he was trying to be like Greg Maddux because he threw him a 3-2 changeup. So he was giving the rookie a little bit of grief about that. One other update on Travis Ishikawa, not much of an update, but he's going to try to start jogging on Wednesday. As you probably know, hasn't been really able to do too much this spring because he's got 2 partially torn ligaments on his big toe foot area. So he's going to start jogging, and hopefully the Giants will get another first baseman back in there, because obviously they've got a shortage of first basemen right now. One funny note about Alex Hinshaw, he was supposed to pitch today. He's the lefty really trying to reestablish himself this year. And obviously he wasn't able to pitch because there was no game, but he's really looking forward to getting out there and throwing a little bit, because he's made 2 appearances thus far, and he's only thrown a grand total of 4 pitches. His last time out, he faced Carlos Gomez, who popped up the first pitch, and he was out of the inning. So he's looking to throw some more pitches. But you know what? If you average 2 appearances and 4 pitches each, it probably means you're getting some outs and doing something right. So anyway, again, that's it for today. A rather short day with the rain, but always welcome by me after a split squad yesterday. So make sure you tune in again tomorrow, and we'll give you all the wrap-up from tomorrow's game against the Dodgers here in Scottsdale. For now, thanks for tuning in.